Hi, this is Alikya. In the last video, we have seen how to integrate SOAP services into our WaveMaker application. In this video, let's see how we can integrate Google Geocode APIs into our WaveMaker application. In our use case, so we are integrating Google Geocode APIs for fetching the location and show them in a Google Map prefab. So that's what we have to do today. Let's begin. So currently I'm in the employee management project. So for importing the Google Geocode APIs, so let's go to the web services section from left resource panel, click on web services. And so there's a plus button over there. Click on that plus button. So there are three options available: REST, SOAP, and WebSocket. So I'm using a REST service. We have to provide this is the API which we have to use. So since it is a GET, so I'm leaving it as GET and testing the API. So as you can see, we can see the response in the results. These are all the query params which we are passing. One is the address and the other one is the Google key. So this is address. We are passing the city plus state. And so this is the API key. So let's say give the proper service name. And import it. So our API has been successfully imported. So we can see it in the REST service section below. So this is how we can do it. So let's create a variable for it and use it in our UI. So for doing that, let's go to pages section. Let's go to the employees page. And now let's create a variable for the web service which we have imported. So for doing that, click on variables, click on new variable. So since it is a web service, I'm selecting the web service variable. So this is the service type. This is the service which we have imported, fetch location info, select that and give a proper name to the service. So owner as the page and click on done. So these are all the properties. I'm leaving it as update on input change. And so go to the data tab. So in the data tab, we can see the query params, address and the key. So I'm leaving it as it is and closing the dialog. Click on cancel. So let's go to the sample application ones. So as you can see, there are two parts here in the right hand side part. So there is a Google Map prefab. So let's import the same thing in an application. Go to the studio and in the right section. So search in the from the prefab section, search for the Google Maps prefab. So this is the Google Maps prefab. So I'm dragging and dropping into this section. So as you can see, these are all the prefab properties which we have to provide for populating the location in the Google Maps. So the API key would be the same thing which we have used while testing the service. So I'm putting the same API key. So map type as markers, view type as roadmap, and locations. So for locations, we have to bind the variable which we have created. So this is the variable which we have created, sp fetch employee location. So bind it to the results. Click on bind. So in the location type property, so I'm selecting it as lat/lang. In the markers latitude, I'm selecting geometry.location.lat. In markers longitude, I'm selecting it as geometry.location.lng. So these properties are fine. So I'm saving it. And for the variable which we have entered, we have to provide the input for it. So it has to be like based on the selected employee, we have to show the location. So let's do that. So for doing that, go to the variable which we have created. So this is the SV fetch employee location. Go to the data tab, and in the address section, we can see it is of type string in the format of state plus city plus some code. So go to use expression and remove the pre-populated thing. Go to widgets, employee list, and selected item dot city. City plus state. Click on bind, then done. Save the variable. Let's preview the page. So let's select one employee and see whether it's working, whether our prefab is working fine or not. So as you can see, Eric, he lives in Chicago, Illinois. So so the map is being pointed at Chicago. So let's test for another employee. So I'm selecting as Brad. He lives in Toronto. So the map is pointed in Toronto. Yeah, so that's it. That's how we integrate Google Geocode APIs into our WaveMaker application. Thanks and see you in the next video.